So there it is, the drivetrain for the cylindrical timer for the marble spinner. I soon realized after making the timer theory video that 4 RPMs was going to be a real challenge. This little DeWalt is 12 volts, and the slowest I can get it to spin is about 45, 50 RPMs, and it's got no power at all at those kinds of RPMs. You got to get these little motors up a little bit of speed before they get any power. This doesn't require a lot of power. You know, this whole part of the mechanism moves pretty freely, but for it to be consistent, you need a little bit of power. So I started off with 3 drills. I had a Makita that was busted up. It looked like somebody had dropped it on the chuck. The insides were kind of scrambled. It had a Porter cable and a Black & Decker. The Black & Decker turned out to be the only one that ran. It's a 9.6 volt old Black & Decker cordless drill. So I rebuilt the Makita to use the slower gear on the drive. It gives me a 6.5 to 1 from input to the output. So there was a step in the right direction. Next step was I pretty much figured out which order I was going to put them in. I originally had planned on having this one be the output off of this one and this one being the input, but it was way too slow, so I decided to reverse the order of things, and you saw me cut the board apart. Instead of going that direction, I went this direction, and glued it all back together. After I figured out the order, I went through and mounted the motors. So this one internally was never mounted together, so I mounted those together. The Porter cable, I didn't want to risk bending the arbor, taking the gear off the end, so I cut the motor off, and you know, like I said, basically it's still a motor without the outside shell. It's missing the magnets and the brushes, but that's the arbor that used to drive that motor. It just or that chuck. It's just missing most of the motor. Now it's just a driver. So I mounted them all on the boards, and that was about it. It worked out pretty good. As far as the 10,000 RPMs is concerned, it's the 10,000 to 1 ratio is this motor, I researched on, you Google the number, and it's a 9 to 12 volt motor capable of 12,500 RPMs. I'm not actually running 12 volts into it. I'm running 18 because I've got this puny little power supply that only puts out 900 milliamps, and it's hot just from running it for that second or two. So I need to get a real power supply. I'll get something set up. But I figure I'm probably running 10,000 RPMs, and on my fast speed on this, I'm getting 4 RPMs. It takes 15 seconds for it to go around once. If I put it on slow speed up here, it takes 1 minute and 5 seconds for this to go around. So you do the math on that, it's actually a bigger ratio than 10,000 to 1. So it's all going to work out good. Whoop, unplugged it. You'll see it later.